WSIC News Talk Now.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. I'm Justin Ckezepis, your host, your liaison for, but an hour. An hour on this Monday. Call to order. Wait, the date. Today being the 22nd of the first month in the 2024 year, I call the meeting to order. It's not a bad start to a book. Oh. See this? They're always listening. You see that? Surrey just went off. Siri? Surrey. Surrey. We'll go with Surrey. Either way, it's up only for real estate right now. That's it. We're up, about $1,000, I think, from last week when I did the market report of Mecklenburg County. Let me see. Let me go back. Active residential property list price. So this is seller's expectation in the marketplace. This is the supply side of the equation. You got supply and demand. So this is the supply side. Mecklenburg County average active list price for a residential property, $679,000. There's 3,500 total actives.
Here comes the money.
Oh, he dropped it on me. Making a special appearance in the afternoon who normally doesn't. Now I have to bring you on the mic. Dollar Bill, y'all. He's here in the afternoon. How you doing on this Monday? This is usually you're like sitting in the quiet moments and just let me be like in a cage. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay, I'm
Saw
just
a
checking
button,
on you.
wanted
okay.
to press it. Heard you say money. That button's called money, money, money.
It's up only. Hey, who's up $1,000 a week up only on their portfolio right now? Who's hitting bangers like that right now?
Not me, man.
Besides Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
Besides
not me.
her. Who else? Come on, somebody's got to be right now.
It ain't me.
There's opportunity out on the streets. That's what we say. We're building. It's still early, just like the Carolina Panthers, baby. We're there. It's early. It's early, and up only, and so we're good. We're glad to be here in this marketplace. Which is made up of a bunch of mini marketplaces. I'm finding that more and more every single little day. Driving from Huntersville, Corntown, going on up to Statesville, and everywhere in between. That sounds like the community calendar right there. But for real estate, it seems to be that multifamily is out. Across the lake, the idea of a big multifamily complex getting approved right now, I don't even know. I mean, Troutman's busting at the seams kind of sort of right now. A little bit. I mean, I'm not saying don't bring it. I'm just saying got to get some commercial going on somewhere, right? Like you got to balance it out a little bit.
What is multifamily?
So apartment units.
Okay.
So talk about these.
Good.
Hey, they talk about these three-story, 9-acre parcels, 250 units.
Right.
Something like that. You know what I mean? Spread out, a lot of concrete. I'm not saying they're not aesthetic. They don't bother my eyesight. That's not what it is. I don't. You can go 10 stories. You're super tall. Bill's super talls. 844 Studio 4. You let somebody know how you feel about heights of building. Super tall man in here.
I would love that.
You did it to yourself right now.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm not
a
against
super tall apartment though. I don't want
top
that.
story. Could you handle that?
Oh, yeah. What do you call it? The penthouse suite.
Your
I could get used to
life,
that.
your whole life would have to be within the super because the time of going up and down to the ground floor, unless you got a custom
Better
elevator,
not forget my phone. Yeah.
you better not get vertigo often, easily. Can you fly and go to the top of a super tall in the same day? You're not supposed to scuba dive and go on an airplane the same day.
Very true. Really?
Yeah. What about a super tall? Either's acceptable answers being either scuba diving or flying on a plane.
Huh.
No,
I didn't know you couldn't do that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Don't do it. No, see, oh my gosh, what if I just saved your life?
You probably did.
It's not impossible to say Billiam will never go scuba diving. I can't say that. You clearly fly in airplanes.
Yeah, I'll go scuba diving.
You ever been spearfishing?
No, I haven't.
Spearfishing in Lake Norman.
Really, I have not.
I mean,
Still haven't.
it's possible though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What you gonna? Are you catching carp? You going deep, or what's the most bottom eaters? Isn't that carp? Don't they eat the poo on the bottom?
Oh, I'm not sure, buddy. I would take what I can get though. I could see myself on a little paddleboard out in Lake Norman.
What kind of fish hangs out at the very bottom of lakes? 844 Studio 4. That's what I just need to know, because 100 feet deep, would you go down what's the deepest part of Lake Norman? We've talked about that. 300-400 feet, 1,000 feet. Who knows?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You've never investigated this? Okay, 112 feet. So I
was
said
gonna say,
100.
I think it's 115,
Okay,
yeah.
boom. I was within the ballpark. You can calm down now. I wasn't completely out of my mind. No. But is the market out of its mind? Interest rates? We're down a little bit, right? I think we're a little bit better. We're a little bit better in the marketplace right now. Let's get live action going on here. Mortgage rates. Freddie will just put them out right away. Freddie and Fannie. You ever met them?
I have not.
Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they do things too. But they don't put the rates out. See, now I'm just making up. I'm not making names up. These names are very relevant to the real estate market. But now I'm just intentionally confusing you about them.
Right.
That's not what I'm supposed to do, though.
No.
I'm supposed to be going the opposite direction
Yeah.
with it and keeping you informed. All right, let's look at some of the other counties as well then. Okay, we've got Iredell County, 586,000 is the average active list price for a residential property in Iredell County right now. Active, 1,000, just a tick over 1,000, so a little bit more units available. A lot of developable space in Mooresville. You just got to be specific with intentions and what kind of you're doing with it. There's some big projects upcoming. There's some not. I'm not saying just Mooresville. I'm talking now. I'm back to Lake Norman area. I still remember when Publix opened up Highway 150. That top corner on the 16 side on the west side of the lake. I was like, this is it. They've identified a corridor of the lake that is completely untouched still right now. And look at it now. I mean, these companies spend millions of dollars investigating properties, investigating areas, communities, forward thinking. I mean, they have to be. The longevity of a grocery store? What a ruthless game that's got to be. You think there's definitely a grocery mafia, right? Like, definitely. Like the maple syrup gang. Have you seen the documentary yet?
No, I have not.
Dude, maple syrup gang is real in Canada. Can't trust them Canucks.
I can see it. It's like the truffles out in Italy.
See? The truffle mob is real too.
Yeah. Eventually businesses go from business to business.
Well, and you got the Bills Mafia now? How are they after last night? That must have been brutal.
Ooh, yeah, on edge. Too soon? Yeah.
It's not staged, right? Like they're really jumping on tables like that are on fire and lighting each other on fire.
Yeah.
Like that's really that's not AI.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I thought that was AI. I thought, this is the joke.
No.
Hey guys, light me on fire.
No, light the table on fire and then power bomb me down onto the table.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Ric Flair's out here again on the streets. Who hasn't seen a post about Ric Flair recently? Most people have, because he's back at it. Definitely back at it. The market isn't doing anything. Can I even say it? Like, after so long of it being just in this hold pattern, am I able to describe it as it's not really doing much?
Is it springing or has it?
There's the rumbles are there. The rumbles are there. It's an interesting time to be alive. I mean, the election season this year is certainly having an effect. There's people that are nervous.
Right.
I think a lot of people are nervous right now.
If you're not nervous, you're anxious.
Who saw DeSantis drop out of the race? Did anybody see that? Has that come out yet publicly?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't leak that. No, okay.
I don't know how you would leak that, but yeah.
Okay. 844 Studio 4. Ben Daniels, another person on the WSSC team. Favorite barbecue, he says, is from Texas. You can call it and scrutinize him too. 844 Studio 4, please.
More of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after a chilly weekend, we're finally going to turn the page into a new chapter and a pretty quick warm-up. On the way this week, a partly sunny sky today. Temperatures about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. It'll feel a whole lot better outside. Highs in the mid and upper 40s this afternoon. That warm-up will continue. 50s on the way by midweek, even 60s on the way by Thursday and Friday. But a wetter weather pattern with a chance for showers through the end of the week will set up. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here's your host, licensed real estate attorney Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Justin Ckezepis, real estate attorney, broker, investor, developer. At what point, I don't really want to call myself all those titles. It's just like things I enjoy doing, like just in the landscape of the world. But here was some cool problem solver now can be added. Because during the break, we figured it out. The solution to parking, the solution to congestion, I'm willing to compromise at the table. And here, I'll kick it off. Here's what I'm willing to say. Red line rail, boring company, parking decks. I don't want to say deck because deck I assume goes up. So parking garages, underground bunkers, parking bunkers. That's what we'll do is parking bunkers and super talls. No, wait, no. We're not on super talls anymore. Right, light rail. Because you got to get people in. So downtown Corntown was there this past weekend. Kane Center for the Arts. Great show by Rocky Lynn. It was fun to watch. Downtown looking nice. Not a lot of nighttime businesses, right? Like it's the daytime retail spots that are there right now. Mills Market's going to come in, right? Mixed use property. You're going to get residential on top. You're going to get some business on the ground floor. I don't know to what level the ground floor businesses will be. I've not spoken with that team at Mills Market. I think they've been on a couple of shows here. I think Bill Russell's show, possibly, I think the developer was on. So I just haven't had a chance to sit down. The types of retail environment. What's the vibe they're going for, though? You know, Charlotte's pushing up against the lake real hard right now. There's pros and cons to it. Congestion, traffic, I get it. But it's nice to start having this, like, versatile, and I'm going to go somewhere where you already know where it's going. I like having this versatility of food options in my life. You know, I like being able to try different ethnicities and culinary scenes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you got to support all that, right? Like if you're going to have all those people, because I don't know what do you think I can make up a ratio of like number of businesses to people? Like for every business you see, right, you got to figure there's 100 times the people, 1,000 times the people. What do you think? Like how many businesses to residents do you think there are in North Carolina? That would be an interesting stat if somebody put that together. I'm sure the data is available separately, but someone just call in and tell me the number, and then that just makes my life easier. That's okay. But what will it take to get there? Can the two sides come together for peace? Can they? Can Elon settle the score here locally? This is breaking news too if you're just tuning in. My gosh. I probably shouldn't do that. That's like War of the Worlds on people coming in and listening to the radio, just hopping in their car, and all of a sudden Elon Musk is moving Tesla headquarters over to Cornelius, North Carolina, Mooresville. It looks like Tesla could go into Mooresville right now. Don't act like it couldn't. I'm still confused at where all the batteries are going to go when they're done. That's my only concern. And I'm seeing a lot of Teslas on the road right now. I have a good friend who drives a Tesla. He loves it. He's obsessed. He's not obsessed. I mean, at first he definitely was. You know, he had that, I've ordered it. It's like the Peloton, when the Peloton came out. I've ordered it. He has one of those too. Trendy. Top signal? No, I wouldn't call him that. My friends aren't top signals. I'm usually the top signal. I'm the warning light. Oh gosh, Justin's found out about it. Now it's a problem. Now we know that's the end. How about the greater part beyond Lake Norman? The greater Lake Norman area. Can I start calling it that? Is that that's a statistical marketplace right there. The greater Lake Norman area. So like Ckezepis County. You get into the deep throes of Lincolnton. I that one's a little tougher. I don't know if necessarily I don't even think they want to be Lake Norman. I don't know if they do or not. Maybe they do. I'd be happy to sit down and learn about that. Denver, though, obviously, right? Because you don't want to say the whole county is Lake Norman. Your whole county is not made up of a lake. Mecklenburg County isn't just Lake Norman, though a big piece of it. Is it just the airport? Is that all that matters anymore in the business development world? Is the airports? Charlotte Douglas International Airport growing like wildfire. More terminals, which is great. More parking. There you go. It's what you need. It's necessary. It's just happening. That was the realization I had, I feel like, driving last week. You want to be a part of it on the good side, right? Like of the change and of the development and evolvement. Still trying to find that right word. Change isn't, because change just has a negative connotation. And then do I go super cheesy and just go with, possibilities, opportunities? Get hit you with that. But the reality is okay, when I go to the grocery, what's that experience going to be like when I go to the grocery store? When I want to go, somewhere with the family and I want to go hang out somewhere, what's that going to be like? Going to be a peaceful, enjoyable situation? I certainly hope so. So the growth is coming. Things are coming. And there's not much we can do about it. So what we can do, though, is prepare and plan. So I say there's not much we can do about it. There's actually a lot we can do about it. We just got to start paying attention at the right level. There's a micro and macro to everything. You can get caught up in a lot of other stuff, and I do it every day. I have to talk about the big squirrel. There was a bag of sweet tarts on this desk before I came in here. Actually, I brought it in. Wow. I just told him myself. I didn't even realize I told him myself there. Ckezepis County, let's go out a little bit farther. $442,000, the average active residential list price right now. Under 1,000 active. The number of active, right? That supply, the number itself is big because it just seems like there's not a lot of inventory. I mean, just on paper, there's not. There's a kind of an X factor with it, though, and this is one that gets a little tricky and a little challenging because of the parties and stakeholders involved. New construction. So new construction, a lot of times, they will have a firm that is a member of the local realtor association, for example, Canopy Realtor Association, which we have here. They will have an agent who will be a licensed broker in the state of North Carolina, will be affiliated with the firm of that builder company, who then will also be relevant on the licensure and the membership to the association and the state level of the commission, right? All that stuff. But there's a lot of inventory necessarily that doesn't get put into, right? Into the MLS. I mean, they're not putting every single unit in. Let's be honest, right? Let's talk about reality there. You got, you go down to the conditional approval perspective from planning department. You get approved for 400 units, and it's a 5-phase kind of scenario. Well, it's not reasonable to go ahead and if it's going to take 6 years to develop this out, right? Go ahead and put this kind of stuff in there all the way up front. Or even when you get to it, then you're phasing a neighborhood. Having to put in 200 units at one time into it. New construction is just different, right? Like it's a little bit different in there, the way the inventory fluctuates. And so I think that there is some there that could probably be worked on. I don't know what the answer is. Look, I'm just throwing stuff up on a whiteboard right now. But we can work on it together. And that's what's exciting. New construction will seems to be the deals right now. That's what I'm hearing because this buy down of rates, right? It's nobody's fungus has been flushed down the toilet yet. Never mind. I won't do that right now. It seems to be the opportune time if you can find the right location. Location is still will always be the number one factor in real estate. Location will always be the number one factor. And so where you want to be? Are you in the spot you want to be at right now? I already told Demi she can bury me in the backyard. I don't think she'll do it. I mean, like I've told her obviously multiple times. I don't think she could actually handle it though. Because then, like, if she went outside and like just looking at the backyard, like as if knowing that my body's decaying in there, that's not right for anybody. So I don't think she'll do it. My other option was better, and this was my primary. And I don't know if zoning will allow this. This is relevant for real estate on the zoning side. I want to go Braveheart style, like put me on a rack, like what's his name, Mel Gibson, and then somebody can shoot a flaming arrow. And then everybody can join in and shoot flaming arrows. Where's the zoning allow for that? What's the land use code, and what jurisdiction would you think would allow for that? Just public open? Is that also possible? Okay. I'm getting the green light on that one. William Wallace. Yeah. AKA Mel Gibson. That's the one. You look like William Wallace right now. You actually look like Theo Vaughn more and more every day. I'm talking to Bill right now, by the way. He came out a little earlier. The market continues to say that there's demand. That's the summation, I think, of the numbers across the different markets. And you can go to WSICnews.com and check out all these market reports. They're right there on the homepage, WSICnews.com. We give you the most local data. We believe in the most local data as it relates to real estate. WSIC is a member of Canopy Realtor Association and the Canopy MLS and does believe in the local use of data. For the public. I mean, you really want to know what's going on, right? But you want accurate data. You don't want to go down the road of some of these third-party sources. I have this thick book. So I had a meeting the other day, and I got this publication out of it. It's the 2024 like trends, and it was just statistical data out the yin-yang. And breaking down certain brokerages and firms, large firms, mega firms, like all this kind of data. And I was saying to myself, I said, man, how can you analyze it and know whether or not something is going to stay, right? Like the hype of an area. And it comes back to a basic equation, supply and demand. Every time I come back to supply and demand, I try to make it complicated. I try to go down these rabbit holes. Supply and demand still continues and will continue to be the ultimate teller. And how do you do that? You look at the local sales price information, the local demand, the local supply, and you compare. And where do we sit as a market right now? Knowing also, here's the X factor, the trajectory of North Carolina as a state. We got a lot of leadership going on in North Carolina. It's kind of an interesting time. We were pretty purple last time. I don't know. Feelers out there? Are we still purple? Is that where we are? Or do we still stand in the middle? We went red last time. I don't know. Look, North Carolina now has voter ID stuff. That's going to be coming up. Look, everyone's nervous. Everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. You may have noticed Bloomberg Market Minute. You're about to hear it in about a minute here in this next top set. We added the Bloomberg Money Minute to the clock here at WSIC. Today is the first day of it. I've been pretty happy with it. Trying to put some feelers out there, trying to see, you want a wide variety of topic. But you want just to be presented with the information, and then you make the decision. That's what we want to do. I don't like manipulating the news for, any particular direction. Just not into it. It's not my thing. What is my thing? The Peach Cobbler Factory in downtown Corntown. That is my thing. I will eat that. Also, Sumo Shack in Mooresville. Been a hot minute since I've been there. But that's on Williamson. If you make a right, so if you're heading northbound on 77, you go to exit 33, you make a right. That's Williamson, right? I don't know. Who knows?
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by real estate attorney Justin Ckezepis in just a moment on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, after a chilly weekend, we're finally going to turn the page into a new chapter and a pretty quick warm-up. On the way this week, a partly sunny sky today. Temperatures about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. It'll feel a whole lot better outside. Highs in the mid and upper 40s this afternoon. That warm-up will continue. 50s on the way by midweek, even 60s on the way by Thursday and Friday. But a wetter weather pattern with a chance for showers through the end of the week. set up. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The Statesville Family YMCA reminds you that older adults and those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email C. Mullins at ymcanwnc.org.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Get in to Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
Happy New Year. Yes, 2024 is here. We are celebrating Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. The deals could not be hotter, can't be better in the new year. Come see us today, Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Check out the Silverado, the Colorado. How about a new Traverse? That's the new body style. Come see us. It is going to be a great year. Happy 2024 for Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. More problems today for Boeing. Still reeling from when a fuselage door plug blew off an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9 jet mid-flight on January 5th. The FAA is now recommending that all airlines inspect door plugs on some similar but older model Boeing jets to make sure they're all safe. Now, so far, no issues found on those older planes at Alaska Air, and they say the inspections are not delaying flights. Shares of Boeing, though, down almost 1% today, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks are a little higher, building on those all-time closing highs made on Friday for both the Dow and the S&P 500, thanks to strong economic data. Right now, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all up about 0.25%. Macy's rejecting a nearly $6 billion takeover offer from two investor groups, saying it's too low. And J.M. Smucker discontinuing all Knott's Berry Farm jams, jellies, and preserves. Smucker does not own the theme park, though, so that's still open. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with Justin at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Justin Ckezepis hanging with you. I don't know why all of a sudden it got pushed, but there is quite a few disciplinary actions happening at the commission from the January newsletter there. I hadn't looked at them yet. So when you become licensed in a profession, you always look at least one publication. And that publication most commonly deals with the disciplinary committees, the ones that can take the license away, thus removing your ability to live life. Well, you can still live. You just have to do something different with your day. And I pulled this one up for January, the North Carolina Real Estate Commission report. Way more names than in the past few months. I thought everything was getting sleepy. Everybody was like, nah, there's no deals to be had out here. But some people have been doing some crazy things. I'm not going to read these out loud. I realize now that I'm saying it, it's kind of like, oops. Because I don't like naming people who make mistakes. Like, you go through that process, and I'll be honest with you, I've received a brown envelope. That's what it was called back in the day when they still did envelopes before it was digitized. I've received a brown envelope. Means somebody did file a complaint against me. Doesn't mean it's just because they file it doesn't mean that it's actually true. Trust me. No. You can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust me. You can trust me on this. But went through the process, and I've represented people, or brokers in the process. And It's man, you got to keep your paperwork. Let's say it that way. You got to keep your paperwork in that real estate game. So if you're a broker and you are looking for ways to improve your systems, might I recommend that you document everything. Joe Vagnone talks about that. So Joe Vagnone, Local Biz Now, a business broker, over 30 years experience. He does his show every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. He's sponsored by Burners Cigar in Birkdale. They've been there. Burners has been there forever. I remember trying to sneak into Burners as a kid. No, I didn't do that. You didn't have to. You just walked in. It was the early 2000s. Nobody cared. It was a different time. It was a different time and a different culture. You know? Things have changed. Tammy looked at me the other day. You've changed. I said, you've changed. Everybody's changed. We've all changed. Is change for good or bad? That's the question. What about in real estate development? Is change good or bad? We've got limited land left. You've got Mooresville, who, again, and Mayor Carney's been public about it. I don't think he has any issue saying it out loud. They're not interested. He said it on the show on Good Morning Elkin. They're not interested in big apartment complexes right now. It's just the town is say, well, wait a second, let's reanalyze. Now, commercial, wide open. But you have commercial, you have jobs. You got jobs, you got people. You got people, you got poo water. California's doing it. They're taking care of it. No, I'm not going. I just mean you need housing. You need housing. Sorry, I'll come back. At some point, I'll make it back to normalcy, whenever that may be. But you got to have housing. Because let's be honest, like, you got to have, and I don't like the word. I started to say affordable housing. Like, you've got to have housing that people can pay for, that match their income. And if you have a diversity of jobs at different pay levels throughout your community, it requires a diversity of people who live there and the types of housing, the cost. Unless you have transportation, unless you throw peace into the mix and you can live anywhere you want because the boring company digs the parking bunkers and we do super talls. Bill's theory might be right on this. He's the super tall portion. I'm the parking bunker side of it. But nobody wants to look at it. And it's not like we'd be putting more stuff into the ozone if we went down, right? Like we'd be doing it toward the core. The core can handle more, can it? Of the earth? I think that much that real estate costs. Buy your core today. Couldn't live near it though, because isn't like really hot? I think. There's smarter people than me that know this kind of stuff. That could be the next Mars. I don't know. I'm too far gone. I still am confused though on Teslas and where the batteries all go after. I don't know if we know that yet. Can they just recharge a battery forever? Like if we can do that, then let's just pick a spot, you know, and like just put it all there. North Dakota, South Dakota, I don't want to be offensive to them. I don't mean to be offensive if you're from North Dakota or South Dakota, but I don't know what else is going on out there. So, but anyway.
I'm pretty sure we ship it all down to South America.
Do we? Dang.
Yeah.
No wonder why they're coming over here. They ain't happy with it. It's doing something. It's hot down there, too. It gets so hot, you probably could boil battery acid somehow with them. I don't know. I just thought back to being in the cul-de-sac as a kid and having a magnifying glass and burning an ant, and then we were on the battery acid, so it just seemed relevant. But now you're gone. Now I'm gone, and now you're gone. Okay, that's how that works. So a lot of disciplinary actions going on right now at the commission level. Funny that it goes a lag of like 3 to 6 months, and then like all of a sudden, boom, it's like a bunch of people get listed on here. But that's the day, and that's the type of market it is. If you're going to have a broker, you need a broker that you can trust, and we've got the contacts for you. So WSICnews.com, if you just click real estate, you fill out the form, you fill out your information, we can get you in touch with somebody who can help you out. I've talked to a lot of brokers. I've been in the game for, I don't want to say a long time. There's a lot of people around here who have been in the game a lot longer than I have.
Is that for buyers and sellers?
Yeah, that'd be for both of them. Really, any of them.
Cool. I didn't know we had that.
Yeah, so WSICnews.com, you can search for all the local real estate directly there.
That I did know.
Yeah, and so then there's also the option, like when you're searching, like you can fill out a form, it's going to prompt you, and you're going to say, oh, cool.
Nice.
And then we can help connect people with the best brokers in the community.
Power of radio.
It's a little network, you know? And again, culturally with Lake Norman, maybe you are looking around the whole area. Maybe you don't know if you want Huntersville, Corntown, Davidson, Mooresville, Troutman, Statesville, Denver. Cheryl's Ford, Catawba. Wait, that's not right. Anywhere up there. Anywhere all around. Symbiotic. It's a new concept putting together all these places as one unifying place. I know Lake Norman's been a thing for a while, but considering your municipality as part of Lake Norman, I do feel like that's fairly new. Trying to hold on to Huntersville. Trying to hold on. Trying to keep it. Charlotte's pushing up against it. You get near 485, you got to be a licensed race car driver to drive on 485 nowadays. It's 70 all the way around. It's 70 all the way around. And you can go left the whole time because it's a circle. You can just keep going all the way around the whole place. Charlotte Motor Speedway, their schedule's out for the year. A lot of things going on locally there. I'm a big fan of the complex over there. You know, the Smith family owns all that land and all that out there where the track's at. Very close to UNCC. I'm sure like that's a vibe out there. But then it's also close to the light rail. There is a light rail stop that ends at UNCC on Tryon, and that goes to the city. So it's so close, you know? And then you got PNC Music Pavilion. You got some good things going on out there in that community. Harrisburg. How about Belmont right now? You got the people that are on the outskirts out there, right? Those towns are all flourishing too. And all of that feeds into Lake Norman. So I consider those like the greater Lake Norman area. Some don't consider Gastonia as part of it, but I do. They can be part of it. The greater Lake Norman area. So the real estate continues to move though in the area. Licensure process is, the new member numbers aren't the same as they were locally as far as brokers coming into the community. That becomes a factor for you too when you're analyzing, okay, how hot is the market? The more brokers that come is a sign that the market is doing very well. And so the number is leveling off as well. So that's just some of that insight on that. And it tells you still a couple of things. There's still a demand though. I can't get over the fact of the real demand that still exists in the Lake Norman area. And each week I wondered to myself, okay, when I'm prepping, when I'm doing this, when I'm getting ready, the numbers are going to change this week. We're finally going to see it. Supply is going to shoot up. And the part that I don't want, right? Like price comes down, because that's part of the theory, right? That if price comes down in real estate, it opens the door for more opportunity for more people. And that's certainly true. But as of right now, there's so much demand as compared to the supply. No matter it's just you're closing quicker, right? Like that's really all. You lower your price, you're just closing quicker. You're getting better terms on other things. Because those are all factors in a deal, right? Like how quickly can you close? What's the type of financing? All of that is a factor. And I'm not seeing a signal that says, as of right now, and look, tomorrow, the craziest announcement in the world could happen. Even after this show's done, the craziest announcement in the world could happen directly after this program. And all of a sudden my theory would be wrong. But as of right now, I don't have any indication of it slowing down here. There are sectors that will be hit by the other economic factors of the world. There's no doubt about that. Which is what always brings my mind now to Mooresville and my concern for the amount of industrial space that's going up. It's an entire sector. If you put too much percent, I'm not saying don't have it, but what's your overall percentage that you're looking at? Because if that space gets hit, then that percentage that you've dedicated to it and that has been developed for it becomes very relevant in the conversation. And so long term, how do you... Much greater minds than I'm not saying I've got the answer right now. That's for darn sure. I'll make something up. You want me to make something up? Okay. North Carolina never goes down again. There it is. I've said it. People are leaving California now. Who would have thought? Who's been there recently? There's some people that still go there, right? It's not like they didn't turn the whole thing into Alcatraz, did they? No. Okay. Let me look some of that up.
More of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after a chilly weekend, we're finally going to turn the page into a new chapter and a pretty quick warm-up. On the way this week, a partly sunny sky today. Temperatures about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. It'll feel a whole lot better outside. Highs in the mid and upper 40s this afternoon. That warm-up will continue. 50s on the way by midweek, even 60s on the way by Thursday and Friday. but a wetter weather pattern with a chance for showers through the end of the week will set up. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College. Featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information can be found at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Mooresville's Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Chi-Town Transit Authority is coming to Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. Come hear the 8-piece Chicago tribute band, horn and woodwind sections included. Chi-Town Transit Authority, Kane Center for the Arts, Saturday, February 3rd. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
It's today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Last stretch here, and you're going to get Joe Vagnone, 30-year business broker. Enjoy the conversations that I get to hear from him. He's had on, there's a guy on the weekends. And see, he's gonna laugh at me when I walk out of here for not remembering the host name of one of the greatest business shows that Joe Vagnone says is one of the greatest business shows ever that we carry here on the weekend. And Joe interviewed him. I want to say John. I want to say his name was John. But we're gonna see. Joe Vagnone's gonna laugh at me when I walk out of here because I don't remember. Because he drops those knowledge bombs. He drops those knowledge bombs like that, and then I just forget them. Steel trap. Well, I don't forget them. Steel trap. That's part of the problem. Business leaders are a big factor for the success of really an area when you put a business. Like, take, for example, Lowe's. Over the years, I mean, Lowe's has continued to be a great organization. And there's a lot of other than smaller organizations that, and small is relative. I always feel cringe when I say that because it's not like about the size of the business. I don't think that's necessarily like the indicator of large business. Number of employees. Because there's some, like, from an efficiency perspective, some of this tech stuff you're seeing now, you're talking about 2-3 people in a room. And they're pumping out this stuff. And there's a lot of that. How's AI going to affect real estate? How about on the design side? Look, if you're an architect, I'm sorry. I'm not, look. But if AI, you got to find ways to get involved with the AI stuff. Because if you don't know what the tools are, the tools then going to replace you. But it's a great opportunity, I think, for the architecture, firms, a community to get involved. Because can this technology equate, dimensions and plans and specifications and requirements that are to code? And if they can, okay, who's there quantifying, making sure that is actually accurate? Who's spot checking it then? Because you can't give it all to a technology tool. Because there's no oversight then at that point. You will always have to have specialized knowledge involved in an equation somewhere in the process. There might be something that's 100% automated, but I doubt it. At some point, somebody's hands, someone's actual physical hands are getting involved. Or you're just your mind. Because you can just step into a computer, right? What about manufacturing those health pod things like AI? The health pods where they can just read your whole body? There's the next level of healthcare. Primary care physician, you just walk into CVS Minute Clinic, step into the health pod, and then boom, it spits out your script because the likelihood is they're going to write one. A lot of flu going on in the area too. Does that affect real estate? Probably. Maybe. I mean, it makes me stay inside. Is that? It forces me into the house. Illness does. I don't have the flu right now. No. There's a lot of people, though, at the minute clinics these days. Some of that stuff's happening. I'm not going to go down. Don't act like I'm about to start going down a health rabbit right now road. I'm more interested in the pharmacy game. I think I find it interesting, fascinating. We have 2 pharmacists here. I didn't know much about the pharmacy game before getting into radio. Just the business side of it. Very unique model. Very cool to learn from both of the pharmacists that we have on here, Dr. Fred Lowry and Dr. Nicole Eastman. It's very cool. But those types of things in the community, who would think a local pharmacy community? No, you think right now where we live, you're going to search for CVS, you're going to search for Walgreens. That's what you're looking for. But as the town continues to evolve and grow and the area continues to evolve and grow, what are the kind of like specialized knowledge services where you get that quality of care that you want? I go to CVS, right? I do utilize it. I'll go to Walgreens. I'll go to any pharmacy. I'm not saying I won't go to a pharmacy. But the one where we send our prescriptions to currently, really just the closest pharmacy to our house, they don't have enough labor. They've been literally multiple days. I don't even know if the pharmacy drive-through is open anymore at this place. There's now also been days where the inside of the CVS is closed at like 6 o'clock because they don't have enough labor. So the whole CVS is shut down at 6 o'clock. I thought there was a law that said that you had to have something open 24 hours in a town. Or within some kind of radius, maybe? I thought that was a rule. Because the whole milk thing for babies. That's a factor. That's very relevant. Don't look at me like it's not relevant. It's super relevant. What else is relevant is how long it takes me to make it through the traffic intersections here. Why have we not yet put forward the adoption and resolution for traffic light systems in the Lake Norman area? Controlled by the local. That's what we need. And that's a big life hack. What if that could clear up, 30% of traffic congestion? Speed up your time frame to get home within 30%. Cut 30% off your route. And it cost you as a taxpayer, let's say, $10 a year for 20 years. What do you think? Worth it? Can we put it into the bucket for that? Because that's what it's going to be, right? It's going to be over a long period of time. There's going to be debt issued. It's going to be a process. It's going to take millions to put in an infrastructure system for that, a traffic center. And then you got to negotiate out who's in control of what. Because if you're going to bring it back locally, well, okay, where does the line end? Do you end it just literally at the town line, the municipality line? And what level is the county involved at that point? Or can these individual municipalities just completely do it 100% on their own? There's got to be teamwork involved here. Mooresville's on their way to do it, though. Mooresville is on their way to do it. And I think the process, they say, is going to take over 7 years to fully transition. So if it's going to take 7 years for one, why aren't we doing this all and starting it all at the same time? You got all this extra stuff that's coming up. And I've always been curious about that, like when they set, let's say, for example, the diverging diamond at exit 23 that's about to be finished. Well, it's not really about to be finished. I think it's like 2 more years. Feels like it's going to be done soon. Looks nice. Whenever that's done, then they set this traffic pattern, right? I feel like everywhere just gets more and more clogged. When they did it in 28, look at Torch Chapel. Look at right there at that light in Catawba. That's a fun one. You looking for some kicks for the day? Let's go hang out in traffic. Inside the car, while you're still inside the car. Don't get out of the car in the middle of the road. That's a bad thing to do. Can you do that in the city of Charlotte? Are you able to walk around Charlotte anymore, or is the crime just so bad that you don't even leave your place anymore, Bill?
I can walk around.
Do you see the Prince at all ever?
No, I haven't seen him in a while. He's busy. He's working.
Tell him I said hey next time.
Busy season. Yeah, definitely.
How is it going for the Hornets this year?
Having trouble staying healthy.
Okay. That's a lot of people. You know what they need to do? Hydrate.
Yeah, that would help.
It usually does. That's why you encourage me to hydrate. I almost just spilled this all over me. Yeah, this is why you encourage me to hydrate every day.
Indeed.
What about a bottle manufacturing facility in Lake Norman? Like a big one. Like we got Cheerwine, but we don't have Cheerwine here.
Right. I'm thinking like What were those big cups everybody's getting?
Stanley.
Yeah, we need one of those.
Do they produce? Is that Stanley the tool company as
Oh,
well?
yeah.
Dang. DeWalt? No, that's different. Or are they together?
I'll take a DeWalt.
You know, you got
Thermos?
because you got Doosan Bobcat right up in Statesville.
Oh, yeah.
So who's like, is Stanley DeWalt?
I'm really not sure,
Did
bud.
Stanley make DeWalt? Is that?
I'll look into it.
What about electric? You don't have to cut grass or anything like that in Charlotte.
I don't, but I can't wait till I can.
Are you going to go electric or are you going to go gas?
I'll probably go gas.
Just cuz?
Yes.
I like it. American spirit right there.
Right.
Just cuz I can.
Exactly. Plus, where am I going to put the electric battery?
When it's all done.
Right.
That's the problem I'm going to have. Because, I use an electric one. I'm out here contributing to the battery population out here. No problem. On sale? Let's get it. I need to cut my grass this year.
Put
I took
some
over.
newspaper over it.
Just let it
Should be all right. Yeah.
Just, I can't leave it too long. I get yelled at, both inside the house and from outside the house. You ever feel like people are watching you? And they not you, but you don't have this because you don't have a lawn. See, I feel like neighbors sometimes they'll look at your lawn when they go past.
Definitely.
You can really judge a person by their lawn.
100%.
I'm ratty. Mine goes off the deep
You got a lot
end.
going on at your house.
No. But to me, I like it.
Right.
And that's the thing is like it's not like I'm trying to change it very often or anything.
Right.
But that's okay. We'll make it through. I don't think that makes the property value go down though. Well, probably. I mean, in the short term, like if I was trying to sell it, that's what happens when the investors come in and they buy your property. I got to do all this work. That's part of it. How much is the grass cut worth? How much will that improve your value? So cut your grass when you get home today. When you get home, you want to improve the value of your property, cut your grass. Just give it one more trim. I know we are in the middle of winter right now. I'm telling you to go outside and cut your grass right now. You must think I'm crazy. No, but cut it one more time. Let everybody see them fresh strands, cut, nip, tuck nicely, and get ready for spring. Because the warm air is going to come back at some point. I think it's supposed to be warm this week. Midweek 60s, I think, already is what I'm seeing. My watch is telling me 47 right now. So at least we're above Arctic. That got scary for a little bit, huh? How about that, the weather this past weekend? This time of year in February, what do people do? They hang out on the side? A lot. And it's going to get colder, too, by the way. The wind is going to continue on. We're not even in February yet. February is traditionally the coldest month, right? End of January, early February. I would guess that's probably going to be the coldest time of the year. People are already gearing up for spring, though. Already trying to get back to it. I like the cold, though. I just wish it would snow. See, people don't like when I say that. See, all the parents right now for their kids and stuff getting ready for schools, they're not happy with me saying I'm okay with snow coming to Charlotte. Lake Norman area. See, it'll hit Charlotte a little bit. It'll go north. Iredell County, y'all will get it on the north side for sure. And then it goes east. Then it goes east to like Winston. Shout out to our Moxville family out there. It'll definitely make its way east out to Winston. But it's something about the nuclear power plant. I'm convinced the nuclear power plant and the lake itself affect the weather here at Lake Norman. Absolutely convinced. What a relevant dose of real estate you've had today here. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate. Catch us every Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. Going to have a broker on next week. We're going to have a real estate broker. More coming. Look out for the post. We're going to have a real estate broker on the show with us next week. Kind of got a new thing I'm thinking. Like, hey, if all these people are going to be selling real estate in our area, shouldn't you meet all of them? Shouldn't you know every single real estate broker in the entire community? Hey, it's affecting our longevity around here. I think I'm going to start a mission to talk to every single broker, every single real estate broker in North Carolina that thinks North Carolina is their spot, or that Lake Norman is their spot, even more in particular. I'll get started on it. See you next week.
The new 105.